Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. It's not going to be a long one today. I'm going to go through the Divine Feminine read for today. I have a lot of messages from the sand art, as well as I'll pull some oracle cards for you. It's been a tough night for me. I cried for like 3 hours last night. I'm smiling now, but it wasn't fun then, okay? So just so you know, you're not the only one going through it. And just remember, whenever you go through a big purge, there's always something that comes out of it, and it will come to you afterwards. So just know that, and know it's for a reason. You're not doing anything wrong. And you know, have to remind myself that as well. So I'm going to get into the sand art first. I did ask Jesus just before I came on if there were any messages. I got allow was the first thing that came through, allow. And then to speak your truth, he was bringing it up to my throat, and there must be something that you need to say. And then I was seeing a wagon train, you know, with the old-fashioned bonnets. So I just was seeing her bonnet and her sitting on this wagon train. I was also getting to bring up Bonnie. And so those were the messages. Also, there's a Bonnie from Spiritual Acceleration. If you guys haven't used her before, she does mass clearings, and she does free clearings every 2 weeks. If you're interested, that's Spiritual Acceleration, and I love her. She's great. Her last one, I think, was post-traumatic stress syndrome. I don't know if that one's still up, but every 2 weeks a new one comes up, usually. But she's great, so check it out. So for my sand art, oh my God, so much stuff was coming through. I was like, enough already. So first thing was chokehold. When a monster calls. I was literally seeing the monster from When a Monster Calls. The big stone tree guy. I saw lower left mouth issue. Got brittle bones. Also saw fashion, like hats and buttons, as well as crocodile. And Crocs, the shoes, which I need to bring up because my daughter this morning actually also was calling for her Uggs. Crab came up, shaft, also a golf ball. Oh, I didn't even think of Caddyshack, but I guess Caddyshack needs to come up because golf, I just said shaft, and then golf bag and caddy and flag in the hole was coming up. So it's also getting someone having a temper tantrum on the golf course, dumping all their clubs out. I like that one. Okay. An old woman lying down with her shoes on and purse in hand over her uterus. The doctor examining the energy above her head that was very clouded. I also saw E.T.'s finger being used on something above her head, and then also coming from her left arm or hand, and then rolling on the side to sleep. So I was getting sleep study from that. And also there was a little guy at the foot of the bed, so it might have been a sleep study. But then I was getting other stuff. I see a sneaker tread and a fool's cap, still sleeping. Now I see two cuddled up to stay warm, so this is the homeless coming up as well. Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home, that came up, as well as MRI imaging. Being wrung out to dry. Also with that was getting medicine poured on this old woman's face. And it looked, the medicine container looked like a door stopper. Like it was being twisted out, and the powder was going onto her face. But I was also getting worms associated with this, so it could be homeless people with worms or something like that. A sprinkle of this, a dash of that. I got milking a cow and breastfeeding as well, which would bring up, you know, newborns. Turning on the charm, witch's brew, as well as witch hazel. I got angels helping the homeless. And then I saw, it was so beautiful, this an elephant laying across a waterfall in order to reach to kiss his mate on the other side. And then when they broke apart, they were heartbroken that they separated. I got emotional little shark dreams. I saw a hang glider meets bird. I did see volcanic activity. I didn't see it erupting hugely. I saw it was very aggressive eruption, but it was just kind of boiling, nothing erupted. But I was seeing that activity. I saw a sailboat out in rough seas and a rescue. I actually saw a person after this up on the rocks. I saw someone smoking in bed, as well as it could be someone smoking by a campfire. And this wasn't, right there I had written next to it from something else above that wasn't part of the sand art, trying to be wise. So if you're smoking in bed or by a campfire, try to be wise. I also saw someone having surgery. I saw ships coming in at Niagara to the right side of the falls, as well as drones. So at Niagara I saw a space shuttle, I saw Jesus, I saw male arousal, as well as male arrival. So there might be a newborn that's male, or actually letters that are arriving. I saw caterpillars reflecting each other, as well as bats, and a bat with a cross to bear, as well as a tea bat. I don't know if that means something to someone. Is there something called a tea bat or a bat tea, something like that? Also, I got soups on and soup kitchen and burning down the house, so be careful about those smokers. I saw coils and a slinky. I saw gas being released again. I saw new mountains to climb and bridges to burn, things to sift through. And I saw an umbilical cord, which is funny because I came across, I think it's my daughter's umbilical cord yesterday. And then I got ringleader as well. So is that enough for you from the sand art? Okay, so I'm just going to do the read from this morning, but I'm going to tell you some of the numbers from the masculine read from yesterday. I did do a masculine read yesterday at 2:22, and the numbers 44 and 28 and 223 came up, as well as 12. So the numbers were really important. Also Twisted Sister, so for whoever that resonates with, as well as it could be someone's sister's twisted. Yeah, I just, Pride came up for the Divine Masculine. Just like it was really a lot of dealing with family issues, dealing with stuff coming up. I mean, there was more to it, but I just want to do the Divine Feminines for this morning. Alright, so this morning, and today is October 18, 2018. 18 is the moon, so we have the feminine moon energies. And then the day added up to 39, which is the Knight of Cups. So it's the Knight of Cups is very beautiful, offering love. And then we have the moon, which could lead to some moodiness, right? So we'll see how that plays out. The very feminine offer of love. Okay. I got up at 7:07 this morning. And this was interesting too. I juice every morning, and I have a standard combination of things I usually use for my juice, but something I read a while back, it probably came up in my codes, was putting a red onion in your juice. And I forget why, but it was helpful for something. I can't remember what, but so I have been putting a little bit of red onion. You know, you don't want to put too much because it's very strong, but I actually like the taste of the red onion in the drink now. Actually, it tastes really good. It gives it, like, you know, when you put pepper in a drink, it's, you know, kind of like that. It gives it that punch. The Divine Feminine read today was at 8:28 this morning. The majors were the Hermit, the Higher Self, Starseed, and the Tower. That was a horn outside. The Knight of Pentacles, I don't know if you heard that, but the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles were the only court cards. There was 3 wands, 2 swords, 2 pentacles, and no cups this morning because I spent all my cups last night. Alright, so the numbers and the codes were 7, 8, 15, 10, 10, and 10, 10 is coming up a lot. So there's a lot of completions going on, right? Because when you have the tarot cards that are 10s, it means it's the end of the cycle going into the new cycle. And we have 2 10s today. As well as 322. The coding had to do with, and that was very clear, having to do with divine co-creation, or the coming together of the divine masculine and divine feminine, for you guys to transmute high anxiety through physical activity. Because it was basically saying the 8 of orbs, which is being in your head, but it's really about the card that represents this in this deck is very much about anxiety to the nth degree, and the fire related to all of this, which is a lot that was coming up last night. So it's calling us to work together to transmute the high anxiety levels through physical activity. So we're being called, and it's in the read, the main numerology deck card is physical activity. It's about releasing it with activity. Because of off the hook thoughts right now. Okay. The high 8, going too far away from 0 point. Okay. And some of I did put in the codes into the system to see what would come up, and it was all about, a lot about war. And it was interesting because nothing in the codes was anything like Citadel, but Citadel came up in several entries. Citadel. And also Flames of War. There's a lot of war-like stuff that came up, and like war games, you know, computer games. Flames of War came up, and I can't even, the names were like code names, so I don't even know how to say them because they don't make sense. Flames of War scenario, Unternehmen, so maybe you guys will know it, and then Trapped and Jacked Part 1. And it just says Trapped and Jacked began at 4:15 on 8 May. Flyer Corps V111 or 8, operating under Luftflotte 4, began operations against lines of communication and against Soviet airfields within hours. Ju-87s of STG-77 had knocked out most of the Soviet 44th Army's communications. So that was interesting. Just bringing up, you know, you talk about war and you talk about Soviet Union, you know, that's world war, we're talking world wars. And it came up as S, it was S, small t, and then capital G, 77. I don't know what that stands for exactly, but it was Ju-87s of SNG or STG. 77 came up and then had knocked out most of the Soviet 44th Army's communications. The second thing that came up was Citadel of War, Flames of War, Painting Up Germans, 78. And 78 is the 10 of Pentacles. 77 is the 9 of Pentacles. So it's all about, you know, the ultimate family. And what wasn't that about? You know, Germany and the Nazis, about, you know, the perfect family, you know, the Aryan race. So getting rid of many leftovers came up in this entry. Battlefront stuff, and from the old Sky Tex range, if that means anything to anyone, Sky Tex, so it could be something to do with Texas range. And then from IGN.com, Divine Beast, Rudania, Legend of Zelda. And just some of the information that was coming up from that was tilt the beast, crawl through, and reorient the beast on the other side to activate the last terminal. So if that means anything for you, let me know. Also, Dante came up from Grand Line Wikia. 1 of 5 priests, which was funny because yesterday I said 5 to 1 in my read, but 1 of 5 priests of Newburgh, strongest and guards upper yard with his trial of destruction, and it wasn't trail of destruction, it was trial of destruction, which has a 0%, which is like 0 point survival rate. And then I had an entry of, it was just August 25th, 69, if that means anything to anyone. The Charlie Tigers. And that was the U.S. 101st Airborne Division, the men that Nixon had ordered. So if that brings up anything, let me know. Also, ergodyne chill. It's 6700 CT evaporate cooling bandana. And also Thai came up, the chill. Okay, so the chill might mean something to someone. And also then an entry came up, Bring Me the Horizon, Follow You, from YouTube. And I don't know the song, but the lyrics that were presented in the header was, I will follow you because I'm under your spell and you can throw me to the flames. I will follow you, come sink into me and let me breathe you in. I'll be your gravity, you be my oxygen. And then the entry Will of the Wisp came up, and I'm not familiar with that saying, which is like, it's like jack-o'-lantern, or it's also called ignis fatuus. It's like false, false or sinister hope. It's that folklore. It's from Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and Venezuela, and Uruguay. Ignis fatuus is translated as foolish fire. Okay. Atmospheric ghost light, or like a light flickering lamp that recedes if approached, and it draws in travelers from their safe path. It's like a distraction, a jack-o'-lantern. And wisp has to do with a bundle of sticks or paper used as a torch or a flame. Will of the wisp, will of the flame, will o' the flame. And then the last one was wrap mirrored sunglasses for men for sale on eBay, in case any of your divine masculines happen to like wrapped mirrored sunglasses. That came up. Okay, so for the read for the divine feminine, okay, and the moon is 9, 9 of selflessness and compassion and endings, and the Knight of Cups is a 39-3, which is of self-expression, right? So if we're expressing ourselves under the moon, right, and we're going to be moody, that's what the energies are today. I feel good today. I'm just kind of have a hangover from crying last night, and it's really sunny out here, nice, so I should go outside after this. The read was done, what did I say, at 8:28, like I said, and I started actually doing this part of the read at 9:14. It was all about starting out with the underlying energy of the Hermit, that the Hermit divine allows for justice to unfold naturally after completion of cycle of standing your ground and no more fight left, holding on loosely and skating on thin ice. In other words, fragile. As the Hermit stays secluded, so the Hermit can be just anyone who's in seclusion. It can be a Virgo, it can be a medical person, a pharmacist, it can be an old wise man, okay? So place it as it fits, okay? But whoever's hermiting with the light, because he definitely has the light, he's holding on loosely and skating on thin ice. As the Hermit stays secluded with the light, he cannot see the justice being done behind him. And then I got satisfaction guaranteed. Satisfaction on his own. The King of Cups is grounding a new perspective or awareness. Or the Hermit is grounding unconditional love into his awareness or her awareness. The Devil said hello at the new moon with deception. So, and it doesn't have to be the new moon. We're still kind of in the new moon, raising into the full moon. But it was about new moon or deception. So the Devil came in during this transit so that the Empress could ground in the grass abandonment wounds with negative self-talk, bringing more awareness to these things. The Queen of Swords, without words, is a lie, right? Because the Queen of Swords is all about the sword and the truth and the word. Trees, light, and divine triangle are highlighted to focus on those things and not deception. The wedding card came up as the underlying energy that the situation involves marriage. And then I got lizards out, twisting big love as obsession with flame becomes a dull longing and an offer of friendship. Health also comes up as underlying energy because both the divine masculine and divine feminine need to take care of their health. Jealousy is not offering love, but causes regret of taking others down before they get you. The Page of Swords is the king of this, never quite owning up to his responsibility in situations, right? Because the Page of Swords is an immature person in reference to communications and thoughts. After he has 3 feathers, after all, he has 3 feathers in his cap. And he's got that look on his face like, I didn't do anything. I love that card because it reminds me of my son. But as the Page of Swords grows to the King of Swords, he understands the damage done and his own resisting of transformation in order to take off and fly. The Hermit and the Fool, the light and the downloads, the wisdom of the tried and true, with the fresh outlook and the change of the new propel blast off. So fresh outlook and change of the new propel blast off after recognizing self-limiting beliefs and negative self-talk and bringing this to your awareness again. Recently, in dropping burdens of passionate activity and being called to be kind to yourself, in big downloads, and to be aware of negativity. Also, in lieu of physical burdens, use physical activities that are fun for you to release stress. With this last download, you're being called to wake up, to surrender your burdens, and get physically active. And if you need to have a purge like I did last night and I cried for 3 hours, and you're only allowing yourself to cry for 10 minutes, that's what it's telling you. It's saying allow yourself to cry for 3 hours if that's what you need to do. Don't hold it back, okay? Because you're purging it out of you. The foundation is dance above the flames to your destiny. After holding back feelings, holding up transformation to your happiness and satisfaction. So the central issue here for the Divine Feminine is her home and or her union. As the King of Wands reversed is exhausted, releasing the pain, now that the worst is over with unhappy family cycle done. That's where the 2 10s were both reversed there as well. Now coming together for union. Sudden confession at home about the twin flame and the devil, or just your shadow side. Challenged by, for the Divine Feminine, the anxiety of the Queen of Wands, or the karmic energy, dysfunctional family, kids, and patient King of Swords reversed, who's not in his truth, or her with her dysfunctional family, and him not in his truth with his twin. Now, in the head and heart of the Divine Feminine is the Tower. The Tower in the head and heart, taking a big risk and rising above rejection again. Knowing the passionate new beginning is there, but still some recovery to do practically in order to allow transformation. In this, the Divine Masculine confesses to partner at home about a third party and a third party union with an angel and a devil on either shoulder. Needing to talk, he's tired of being guarded, to her putting it out there. Soon, the Knight of Pentacles, who could also be the King of Swords, because the Knight of Pentacles could just be an offer, something practical. It is also the workhorse. But soon this Knight of Pentacles or King of Swords makes an offer to share with the Empress after the King of Cups had resisted and avoided disaster by running away from the truth. The truth-telling lover, worried that she would take him down, an offer to the Queen of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine is strong despite the pain of betrayal, creatively blocked and sexually frustrated as well, by negative self-talk, jealousy, and secrets out, now purged. Anger about the Knight of Cups, avoiding talking to her, and not using his intuition, and not showing compassion for her pain. The cards that came up were forgiving and learning for the Divine Feminine, attraction, deception, so someone's wearing a mask, and then this could be the one. Around her, or how others see her, is the Queen of Pentacles trying to see another perspective of her own awareness and connect more fully to her higher self at the full moon. Clearing blocks of fading away into nothingness after independence from third party at work has completely drained the Divine Feminine. Physical activity, like I said, came up as important, but even more important came up was individuality and synchronicities. Okay, always be your individual self and watch for your guidance, your signs and synchronicities. And not just about your twin, by everything, you know, how you feel when you meet different people. And when different situations come back into your life during the Venus retrograde, what is the meaning of this coming back? And to you know, to feel into this before you make any rash decisions. But also remember that there's a deception here coming up. Passionately moving for the Divine Feminine in order to get another one moving, right? To get someone else's attention to move. So when you move, your twin moves. As all of your wishes and dreams come true. As also this might help the Empress come out of the dungeon and into the light. The Emperor feels like a failure, like he failed his karmic partner or his mother, not getting attention from the Empress, not giving her enough, not being the leader that she needed. She makes him feel needy. Sudden burdens are lifted as the Empress ascends or moves after uncomfortable emotions of heartbreak and separation. Fighting for home and divorce. This is possibly one scenario. It's not going to be relevant in everybody's scenario. Wondering if spiritually he has enough to get over his sadness and loss. The Hermit rises above the fire of pain, connecting to higher self with a huge download of union anxiety of the King or the Knight of Pentacles proposing to the Queen of Pentacles. And this just could be a practical offer. It could be friendship, but it could actually be a proposal as well. Before she withers away. So again, that was the Hermit rises above the fire of pain, connecting to higher self with a huge download of union anxiety of the Knight of Pentacles proposing something to the Queen of Pentacles before she withers away. Suddenly burdens dropped for big moves. The Hermit's justice is a new start, a leap of faith, accepting a big download and not resisting it. Rising above the flames to do the dance of union anxiety in a sudden release and then epiphanies. Also maybe there could be a karmic involved here with this offer in some cases. There may be someone in here who has dreams of being a star. And I was getting in certain scenarios for some and this is very specific to someone. To some masculine, maybe figuring a way to make everyone happy, that the karmic one has always wanted to be a star. So I was getting stardom coming up here, and him figuring out a way for the Divine Feminine to help her become a star, and maybe then she'll be okay with the breakup or something like that. Or maybe actually bringing something in that, you know, may not be something you want to accept as the Divine Feminine. But either way, this is the different energies that was coming up. It was like he would get his wish and also be able to give her her stardom at the same time, so he wouldn't feel guilty and leaving her with nothing. Okay, so that was pretty much it for the read this morning. But it's just working on your energy. Get physical today. Do some exercise, or just at least get outside or go do shopping or something like that. Just be careful too. There's deception in the energy, and the devil came up a couple times in the read. To only focus on the Trinity above your head and the grass underneath your feet. Okay. Also getting possibly the Divine Masculine might be hiding behind others maybe another divine masculine, or someone else in your scenario, but they're both grounding. Yeah, and I'm going to pull some cards for you. Alright, so for the Ascension deck, and take a breath. Just know, you expect these harsh energies because we knew this was coming. But sometimes it, catches you off guard, so you have to be kind of just willing to roll with the punches. And allow it all, okay? So what is the advice for us today? It's October 18th, 2018. What is the advice? What is the advice? Okay. The bottom of the deck is El Moria, which is 44. Okay, which is the Four of Cups. The affirmation for that is, I stand in my power. And don't forget, 44 is representative from the divine triangle of Atlas, the weight of the world upon your shoulder. It is very structured, but also very square, not triangle. Okay. The card that came out is Lord Cthulhu, which is 36. 36 is the 10 of Wands. It's a 9, so again it's of endings. It's that 369 of 45D60. It's the 9 of universal selflessness, compassion, and endings, and it's the motherly energy on the inside, and the 3 of joy and expression, self-expression on the outside. So again, that's the individuality, but the nurturing inside of the motherly energy. So mother yourself and be joyful on the outside. Lord Cthulhu is the world teacher. In his incarnations as Saint Francis, Shah Jahan, who built the Taj Mahal, and Melchior, one of the wise men, Lord Cthulhu practiced harmlessness, love, and wisdom. These energies are encapsulated in this card, so you're encouraged to spread knowledge and spiritual truths to others with humility and inspiration. Be ready to learn, for Lord Cthulhu is drawing your attention to something important. He is a member of the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, those who take in and transmute the pain of the world. If you're sensitive to energies, ask him to wrap you in his light. Okay, so again, it's all about harmlessness, love, and wisdom, and to spread these things with humility and inspiration. And it's the golden robe they're saying to put on if you'd like to transmute those energies. So very much about gold light in other cards as well, and of course the violet flame. The affirmation is, I'm open to learning and teaching. Teaching and learning. Okay, we always learn from each other. Okay, so for the past life deck, okay, we'll take another deep breath. Clear. Okay, what is the advice from the past life deck? We have, actually this won't come out, 2 biblicals at the bottom. Okay, and again, I always say this is like the 8 of Pentacles. He's building the 4th leg of the house for your union. Okay, and that's biblical, so anything that goes back to biblical stuff. Egypt, that was the underlying energy. The cards that came out are Egypt, so the 2 pyramids. And then we see the whatchamacallit, the will of the wisp. The will of the wisp is in this card. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's like, cloud shapes in the background that remind me of the will of the wisp that they were just talking about. Okay, so Egypt and Atlantis energies coming up with that, and then the arts card again with the guitar and the piano keys. The arts just reminding you to be creative and music. And again, I always see a kite in the clouds in this pyramid picture. Fly high as a kite, free as a kite. The kite always allows. And even if the kite is your mode of transportation, Don't allow it to come between you. The sands of time. A note in time. A dark note and a light note. Right? Ebony and ivory. Right? The duality of harmony and music, and how you use the dark and the light together to make beauty. Okay, that's definitely the message. The dark and the light bring together to make music. Balance and harmony. And get to the point. Alright, so we have the journey of love. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay, what is the advice this October 18, 2018? Who's watching? What is the advice? Beautiful. So the bottom of the deck is Knowing Without Knowing. It's number 41, which is the Ace of Cups. It's beautiful. The Ace of Cups is a 5 of change and expansion, but it's also the masculine energy on the inside and the very structured, responsible energy on the outside, making someone very dependable. The cards that came out are the Lovers. This is very pure and beautiful, simple. Black and white, ebony and ivory. It's number 57, which is the Three of Swords. So it's that heartbreak energy. Okay. And then 44 again, Rings of Time. Okay. And Rings of Time is 44. That's the Four of Cups and Atlas energy. So I'm going to read you both of those. It's 3737, which is the King of Cups. 57. All right. So the Lovers. Yes, it's love. It drives you forward and pulls you back to your heart. It makes the mind mad with misunderstanding and breaks it open into enlightened compassion. It is love. Your yearning heart shall have it. Your destiny is to be the lover of the beloved. This oracle brings a message of love, love, love. It is finding you now. Be open to it in all its forms. Be the god and the goddess of love and paint the town red. Play in passionate embrace with life as your lover, and prepare to receive even more than what you believe you are capable of handling. Love is a magic word that holds the universe together. It is both an emotion and something ephemeral that lives like a fire's glow, or the pink light on the clouds after the sun has set. It is alive and yet indefinable. It causes the heart to beat more rapidly and spirits connecting, feelings to show, and young people to write, sing, dance, and become totally immersed in its hold. Love can beckon coyly or flaunt itself with wanton abandon. Love can live and grow seemingly forever or vanish in a fleeting moment when we least suspect. And in the twilight of our years, reflecting on the life we have lived, it is love which colors every turn and twist of our memory. And when we pass from this earthly plane, it will be love that will light our soul on its journey home. Okay. So just a reminder to you guys, it's just always about love. And get ready to have fun. And don't worry about the outcome. Just enjoy yourself. The other card, Rings of Time, 44, says, divine timing is granted to us as a gift. Sometimes if we want to be further ahead than where we are, that gift can seem like a restriction rather than a generous holding. Much like traffic that moves systematically so that not only one car but many can reach their destination according to a greater harmony and alignment. We are like individual cards that must sometimes accept red lights, and at other times can flow swiftly through many green lights. It is just this way, this systematic flow of divine energy through human manifestation. Your spiritual maturation is happening perfectly, and there's no need to bother yourself about the timing. When the doors open, walk through. When there appear to be no such openings, rest and reflect. The rings of time serve you, beloved. This oracle brings you a message that the divine is completely responsible for the timing of every event, opportunity, and happening of grace in your life. All you need to do is live your life. Everything else is taken care of for you now. This applies to all of your plans and the unfolding of all of your relationships. Let it all breathe and let the divine happen as it will. And the poem reads, there is a beautiful silence now as I hold your hands and listen to your eyes. Across a span of moments called time, there are no words that say as much, nor walls that could confine the wings of our feelings or the rhythm of our eyes. Okay. And it's really about allowing. It's really about surrender. And the rings came up again. The rings came up in the sand art as well. So, and 57 came up, not only in this card, but it came up as one of my times this morning as well. So we've got the Lovers and Rings of Time. So for some of you, there will be a proposal for sure. But just don't look at the outcome. Just enjoy the moment. Stay present. Be good to yourself. Allow yourself to do whatever yourself needs. Drink your water, rest, and be physical today. It's calling you to exercise to release your stress and anxieties, okay? Love you guys. Be good.